Oh god, that's loud in my ears. Anyways, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Devasia mentality plays Sonic Advance 3. Been a while getting to this game, I admit. After Sonic Advance 2, I was in absolutely no hurry to get to this one. But yes, Sonic Advance 3, the sequel to Sonic Advance 2, of course, on the Game Boy Advance. Which, changed the color settings around just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is one of those later GBA games that allow you to do that. But yeah, this is the sequel to Sonic Advance 2, and also Sonic Battle. For as little time as I actually spent focusing on that game while I did focus on that game. But yeah, this is simultaneous. This follows up on Sonic Advance 2 in the only way a Sonic game does, as well as Sonic Battle, but we'll get into the details of that when we get to it. First of all, we have our character selections. Our first two available characters are Sonic and Tails. And I do mean that, Sonic and Tails. But we'll get into that in a moment. The evil scientist Dr. Eggman is planning to use the Chaos Emeralds to build Eggman Land. Tell me something new. Sonic and his friends must stop his evil schemes. What will happen next? We'll just keep watching and find out. As we see Tails' butthole. God, why did they put that pixel there? And now that I have pointed it out, no one will be able to unsee it. You're welcome. Like, what the heck? Anyways, so Eggman has used Chaos Control to separate the world into different zones, which, I don't get the exact way that this is supposed to work, but the point is, the world is divided up into zones now, and it's up to Sonic and his friends to undo the damage caused by him somehow creating separate zones for all these places. And our first thing that we have to contend with is a hub world. In a 2D Sonic game, I am cringing. But yes, there's a hub world here that allows us to access the 3 different acts and special stages, as well as various other things, but that we'll get to in time, like this. This is a special stage spring. It is locked. We need a key to be able to access it. But we don't have a key. So how do we get the key? Well, we'll get to that, I think, here soon. First of all, let's pick up this Omo Chow to tell us that this is an act ring. This will take you to an act map. There are acts 1 through 3. This is Act 1. Just go through the ring, and Act 1 is your next destination. And the first zone is for Route 99, a departure from the typical Sonic level starter of like a green foresty or beachside level. And we just collected a Chow. There are 10 Chow in every zone. They are hidden throughout the various acts of any given stage, and you have to go looking for them. Or not. I mean, it's completely up to you. You're not going to get the Chaos Emeralds if you don't. Yeah, it's another case of just like with Sonic Advance 2, an extra added step in order to get the Chaos Emeralds. Well, I guess it's more like Sonic Advance 1, but yeah. You have to collect the Chow. That's part 1. Once you've collected all the Chow, then you can go get the special stage key, which we'll get into that. Actually, no. Let's just say up front, the special stage key it just basically requires you to replay one of the acts and collect the key as you're passing through it to the end. Which at the very least, is not a supremely difficult thing to achieve. But, you know, adding on the layers of tedium that this game already has by forcing you to collect 10 chow throughout the various acts of a given zone to be able to access the keys needed in order to get to the special stages. It's just one more thing to hold against this game among various things I could point out. But for right now, let's just focus on the fact that we're playing a Sonic Advance game. It's not unlike Sonic Advance 2. Well, I mean, you could also say that it's not unlike any Sonic game in general, because you're controlling Sonic. He runs fast, he can do spin dashes, he can do a rolling jump, and he also has the boost speed thing, like he did in Sonic Advance 2, and it works pretty much the same way. You keep going fast for a while until you break the sound barrier, and that's pretty much the way things work right now. But that is until we get to talking about other mechanics. This is a minigame. Challenge number will increase if cleared. Minigame rooms exist in the hub world. That's another little bonus thing that you can actually do in your downtime when you're not actually playing the levels themselves. You can play these little games that can vary in challenge and what you're expected to accomplish here. This one is to, you know, get rid of all the enemies in a given stage. And your reward for these is extra lives based on, I think just based on the amount of, time that you spend in this. Like, the less time that you take actually getting rid of all of the enemies, the more extra lives it'll reward you with. Unfortunately, I don't think I actually end up completing this particular extra bonus stage at all, so I get nothing other than a waste of time and constantly getting knocked off the stage by these ladybug enemies. 2, 1, yeah, I don't make it. Congratulations, Sonic! You successfully wasted time. Something will appear while this switch is pressed. Hurry and find them. That's not the most helpful information there. Omochao. Here's another act ring. This one must be Act 2, given that there's a great big 2 in it. And Sonic, get going. Yeah, there may be instances where I pause before entering a given act ring because I'm taking a moment to actually look through the guides. Yeah, like with the special rings in Sonic Advance 2, I typically want to go into these knowing ahead of time where the heck all the chow are so that I can get them along the way. I'm going to spoil this for you. This doesn't last. Like, ultimately, this whole ordeal just with the chow just gets a little bit too annoying to bother continuing. Good job, Tails! But yeah, one of the biggest elements about this game that makes it different as far as previous Sonic games go, and I think most Sonic games that have followed, is that it has a partner tag team mechanic. God's sakes. Like you noticed that when we were on the character select screen earlier, we had to select Sonic and Tails, meaning that Sonic is our main playable character, while Tails is our partner. Now, ultimately what that amounts to is your pretty typical setup of what Sonic and Tails typically are in any other given Sonic game, except for their special tag action. Now currently, as I've talked about regarding Sonic's moveset, He can do his spin dash, the rolling attacks, the rolling spin dash, rolling spin attack, spin jump, whatever. I don't know. I get confused on it sometimes. The point is, his moveset is pretty typical. No particular added bells and whistles. It's like a Sonic 2 Sonic, you know? Well, aside from the boost function. That could have been bad back there, but we'll talk about that later, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, Sonic here is basically like he is in Sonic 2, but if you hold down the R trigger, you can call your partner character to you to perform their special tag action. Now, Tails' special tag action is either to sling your current character into the air like a super jump, or if they're already in the air, Tails will carry them around with his flight capability. So, it seems like a pretty neat system, all things considered. You get all the benefits of one character, Sonic's speed and whatnot, but the benefits of Tails, who has the ability to fly. And he can toss you up to higher ledges if you just don't want to take the time to go flying somewhere. He gives you a super jump. That's pretty awesome. For right now. As we'll get into later, there are some problems with this system. And also just some stupid decision makings on my part, because I knew that thing was up there, and yet I had Tails fling me into it anyway. But yeah, you can now play with Sonic and Tails in a whole new and creative way, so that you can actually perform new actions and get through levels and new and creative methods. This ring leads to Act 3. I couldn't have guessed based on the big 3 that it has. But before we go there, we're just going to go over here and have a look at what's next. This is the boss room. You must clear 3 act maps to enter here. Yeah. In order to clear any given zone, you have to finish the boss. But in order to finish the boss, you have to clear all 3 of the game acts. And oop, I saw that. Let me go see what that is. Where am I going? Yeah. I should just go and complete Act 3, but, you know, now that we've seen that Chow, I figure, oh, might as well collect that since I already saw it. But yeah, some Chow can be found in the hub world, rather than just in the... I didn't mean to do that either. Rather than in just the acts. But thankfully, since we've already cleared this act, we can get out of it. I still don't like the idea that we have to go looking around these hub worlds for the sake of... You know, I can appreciate the hub worlds in games like Sonic Adventure and Sonic Unleashed to an extent. In Sonic Adventure, they were small enough and interesting enough and, you know, not offensive enough to be very bothered by, but I think in a 2D game, I just... hub worlds are... I don't know, they irritate me. Like, I mean, unless it's like Castlevania or Metroid or, you know, a Metroidvania, where the whole point is, you know, to go back and forth across the castle and do a whole bunch of looking around for the various things. Like, the whole world is basically a hub level. But this is a level-based progression style of game, where your objective is to complete the levels so that you can, well, keep going. And in 2D, I find that more bothersome than I do in 3D because, you know, you don't have that sort of sense of openness. Like, when you're on a two-dimensional plane, the most open you get is left, right, and up and down. Which... forgive me if that doesn't have the same appeal as a fully 3D environment would in terms of hub worlds. And even then, like, I let Sonic Adventures hub worlds go, and I kind of like them. They're kind of, shall we say, quaint. And I'm sure some people would say, well, what's wrong with Sonic Unleashed's hub worlds, you know, aside from the fact that you can't move at full speed in the hub worlds. They're divided up in between the hub world and the entrance stage. Like, you can't get... you have to go into the entrance stage to... God's sakes. You have to go into the entrance stage to start accessing the... For God's sakes! You know, I'm trying not to complain far too much in this part of the Let's Play right off the bat, because this is just the first part. I don't want to be too critical too quickly. Which is why I've had to re-record this part already, because I feel like I got a little bit too deep into what I hated about this game. Yeah, spoiler alert, I hate this game. Too quickly, instead of actually focusing on the things that make this game what it is as they come up. But the thing is, some of my problems with this game are glaring and staring me straight in the face, even as I'm playing these early levels. There has been some rather unpleasant enemy and trap placement in this game. Like, I think this is the game that started... well, maybe it not started. I think Sonic Advance 2 is more to blame for Dimp's infamy with these sort of things. You know, bad enemy placement, bad trap placement. You know, those sort of moments where you're usually caught by something unawares and not given more than a microsecond to react to it before you've already been done in by the trick. Or an enemy that will... again, things that will come at you at a moment's notice and you only have microseconds to react to, which I know this is a Sonic game, but not all of us can react to every single thing as quick as a Jedi! And it's just like, oh, well, there's a learning curve. You know, once you learn where all the enemies and all the obstacles are, hopefully you should be able to avoid them. Well, when you're going as fast as this game typically demands by, you know, all of its things blasting you around at the speed of sound, as you do, between the springs, the dash panels and whatnot, and, you know, just the general design structure, going through shuttle loops, down hills, hitting more dash panels, landing on the ground and hitting another spring, smacking into one of those flying badniks. It's just, I don't know, there's a lot to get aggravated about really quickly. Just throw me off their tails. I want to grab this thing so we can get done with it. You found a Chow. One Chow left. I'm gonna have to revisit this stage in order to get that Chow, because I already missed it. Anyway. But, you know, enemy placement and, you know, trap placement, it's all a bunch of gotcha stuff, you know. Oh, haha, you fell for our trap that you couldn't have seen coming unless you had already fallen into it. I just don't like that kind of design. And I don't see why anyone would like that kind of design. That's just the sort of thing that is just like, oh, you're being an asshole. But we've cleared the 3 acts. Even if we haven't gotten all of the chow, which has allowed us to access the boss of Route 99. Which could be none other than, oh, well, who is this? This is our secondary antagonist for this game. This is Gemerald. Like I mentioned earlier, this game is simultaneously a sequel to Sonic Advance 3 and Sonic Battle. Gemerald is I don't know if he's rebuilt from Emerald or a robot based on Emerald's design that's partially using I never got the story straight on his part in the story, but Gemerald, he is kind of Emerald, but kind of not. And Eggman built and controlled him, and he is, I guess, his enforcer for this game. Sort of, I guess. Like, he's the secondary troublemaker, I would guess. I don't know what else to say about him of this game. Like, before you can challenge Robotnik, you have to challenge Gemerald. Which, you know, from what we did earlier, isn't much right now, but he'll start picking up pace and being a bit of a bigger problem as the game goes on. Also, you might notice that Gemerald has been integrated into some of Eggman's machines. I don't know what the benefit of this is, but okay, it's a thing that he does. And that is the latest iteration of the Egg Hammer eliminated. Oh yeah, this game also has voice acting in it. This is the last game that featured the pre-4Kids dub cast for the Sonic games. So this is the last time that we'd have Ryan Drummond and Dean Bristow as Sonic and Eggman and that sort of thing. Sonic and Tails versus Boss Clear. So we can move on to the next zone. Except no, we're not going to. Not yet. Wait a minute. I missed a chow. So we're gonna go get that. I just sped past this section earlier. Kind of aggravating. Again, it's just like the game encourages you by its general design to go fast. You know, running around at the speed of sound. You know, the camera, you know, as you're moving along, the camera moves, shifts forward so that you can actually see what's ahead of you as you're running. Okay. Chow collected. We can now collect an SP key.
Let's play again.
And getting an SP key is kind of, like I probably might have mentioned, pretty easy. Just collect it as you're playing the stage, finish the stage, and go back to the special stage spring once you're done. It was the other way. I don't know where the heck I think I'm going right now. But yeah, it's just... This game fills itself with all sorts of redundancies in my eyes. It's just like, you go to their trouble of trying to collect all the chow. Why not just let me play the special stage freely? No, I have to play a level again to collect one of those keys. And with one of those keys, I get access to actually jump on this spring. It just feels like an unnecessary extra step. And of course the special stages are another more collecting of rings. Although this time you're on the top of the Tornado 2, collecting rings. in this whacked out sort of world. And, you know, given that Eggman actually did Chaos Control and has all the Chaos Emeralds, it always seems odd to me how the Chaos Emeralds always end up in these special stage areas anyway. They're just like, I thought these were all in Eggman's possession and he had full control of it all. Or is it another one of those cases where once the emeralds are used, they go right back to whatever the special zone is? It's always weird. Either way, and I'll admit that these particular special stages, I don't like this, but at the same time, it's not quite as bad as it was with the special stages in Sonic Advance 1, where I was always struggling with my depth perception. That's not to say that there isn't a little bit of struggle with depth perception here, but it just doesn't seem nearly as egregious. But anyway, we got ourselves our very first Chaos Emerald. That seems easy on the surface, but remember the sort of things that this game asks of you in order to be even able to access the special stages, which is, you know, finding all of the Chow, then getting a key, and, you know, you say these things, that doesn't make them easy. And of course, there's also these factory areas, but we'll talk about that more as we get along. In the meantime, thank you for watching. As always, there will be links in the description below to my various social media outlets, as well as to my coffee page, if you care to follow up on that as well. This has been the Devasia Mentality, out.